Hello, this is my reflection on my daily lesson plan from May 6th of 2019. My lesson plan was on the book Tuck Everlasting. I think that my lesson plan went well. I think students enjoyed it. It was an interesting topic for them to talk about. The main topic that we discussed for this lesson plan was immortality and the pros and cons of it. So their job was to create a collage poster of the pros and cons, and then they were going to present in Socratic groups to their classmates. So I think that I heard lots of interesting conversations about the pros and cons of immortality, and students were working well in groups. One thing that I could work on would be to keep the groups or the pairs in pairs rather than groups. I think with a larger group of students, this might be easier, but as there were just 4 students, it tended that the 4 of them worked together instead of 2 and 2. Another thing that I think I could work on is the timing of the time spent working on the collage. Maybe depending on the age group, I didn't need as much time for them to do that, and there could have been more time spent discussing the topic in groups or as a class. Some things that came up that weren't anticipated, again, were that the 4 students worked as a group rather than in pairs. I don't think this was necessarily a bad thing. This also could be done in groups. What else? I think I did accomplish the goal of the lesson plan to get students to think about this idea of immortality and what it means, and be able to display their feelings and thoughts on it in visual ways. Students could draw or use pictures, make collages. So there were lots of different ways that they could express their opinions, so I do think that went well. I think this is a lesson plan that could be repeated easily from the instructions I gave. I think it would be a great introduction to the book to get students interested and learning about this idea of immortality. I also think it could be a good way, or good to use as a refresher in the middle of the unit to get kids thinking about, again, this idea of immortality. It could be used throughout the unit. I think it was very student-centered. I kind of just had a small discussion with them about the main topic in the beginning and what the expectations of the assignment were, and then kind of let them go off on their own. I walked around and talked to them about their ideas. So I do think it was very student-centered, and then at the end I brought them back to have a discussion as a group. The classroom management difficulties I found were keeping the pairs working in pairs as opposed to groups, but I don't necessarily think that was a bad thing. I just might have to be more aware of it when working with 30 students as opposed to 4. And another difficulty I could foresee was maybe kids wanting to just look at the magazines rather than use the magazines to make their collage. So just being diligent when I'm walking around the classroom and making sure that students are on task. Overall, I was very happy with my lesson plan. I think it went well. I think the students were engaged, and I am excited to do more of them in the future. Thank you.